Have you ever opened your closet, looked at that maxi dress you love, and thought, am I too old to wear this? If that question has ever crossed your mind, I want you to know something important. A maxi dress isn't just for younger women. In fact, it's a symbol of elegance, freedom, and confidence, especially in your 60s and beyond. When chosen in the right silhouette, the right fabric, and the right color, a maxi can make you look radiant, sophisticated, and effortlessly comfortable. In this video, I'm going to give you a complete style roadmap. We'll cover the silhouettes that flatter your body, the fabrics that move with you, the colors that brighten your face, and the accessories that pull everything together. We'll also talk about the mindset shift, how wearing a maxi isn't about hiding your age, but about celebrating it. So if you've ever hesitated in front of the mirror, wondering if that maxi still works for you, stay with me. By the end, you'll see that your maxi dress can become one of the most powerful style tools you own at this stage of life. Have you ever opened your closet, looked at a beautiful dress, and thought to yourself, am I too old for this? That's exactly the moment when it's time to shift your mindset about style. After 60, fashion is no longer about chasing trends or proving that you can still pull it off. It's about comfort, confidence, and honoring the woman you've become. Wouldn't you agree that, at this stage of life, people don't really remember if you wore what's trending, but rather the elegance, calmness, and confidence you carry yourself with? There's actually science behind this. Researchers call it enclothed cognition. In simple terms, the clothes you wear directly affect your emotions, your posture, even the way you speak. A study from Northwestern University found that when women wore outfits perceived as polished and elegant, they naturally stood taller, walked lighter, and spoke with more clarity. I remember one afternoon when I slipped on a flowy emerald green maxi dress. I didn't wear heavy makeup, just a little lipstick, but everyone I met that day told me I looked so vibrant. That dress shifted my mood completely. I felt confident, alive, and full of energy. Have you ever had that moment? When the right outfit makes you smile more, straighten your back, and engage with people more openly. Style after 60 isn't about turning back the clock. It's about defining yourself with intention. Here's a little trick I love sharing with my clients. Choose 3 words to guide your personal style. These 3 words become your compass every time you get dressed or shop for something new. For me, the words are elegant, confident, natural. So if I try on a dress that feels stiff, makes me fidget, or the color looks harsh against my skin, I simply pass on it, because it doesn't reflect those 3 words. Now let me ask you, what would your 3 words be? Think about it, write them down, and stick that note inside your closet. The next time you pick an outfit, ask yourself, does this really reflect my 3 words? Once you start using this approach, getting dressed becomes so much easier and so much more fun. You're no longer overwhelmed by endless choices, because you have a clear filter to guide you. And most importantly, your style becomes a story about you, not about competing with anyone else. And now that we've set the foundation with mindset, let's move into the next piece. Finding the right maxi dress silhouette for your body. Because while mindset gives you confidence from the inside, the cut and shape of the dress is what makes you look polished and graceful on the outside. When it comes to maxi dresses, the golden rule is this. Create vertical lines, guide the eye where you want it to go, and let the fabric drape naturally. Have you noticed how a V neckline or a subtle vertical seam can suddenly make you look taller and leaner? That's the power of drawing the eye up and down instead of letting it get stuck moving side to side. For petite women, maxis can sometimes feel overwhelming if the cut is wrong. The trick is to look for V-necks, empire waists that sit just above your natural waist, and gentle A-line skirts. I'm only 5'2", and I once tried on a maxi with huge, heavy tiers. Honestly, I looked like I was drowning in fabric. But when I switched to a V-neck with clean vertical lines, my friends immediately asked if I had grown a couple of inches overnight. Have you ever had that too much fabric problem? If your waistline is fuller or you carry weight in the midsection, avoid anything that clings. Go for an A-line cut or a raised waistline with a soft belt to bring balance. According to a 2022 AARP survey, more than 60% of women over 60 said they feel more confident in clothing that skims rather than squeezes, with just a touch of shaping at the waist. I couldn't agree more. I always feel more comfortable and more myself when the dress gives me room to move while still suggesting a shape. If you have broader shoulders or a fuller bust, a V-neck or wrap style will be your best friend. They open up the neckline and draw the eye down, softening the top half. One of my girlfriends, Linda, has very strong shoulders. The day she swapped her high, rounded neckline for a simple V-neck, her whole frame looked lighter and more balanced. Why not try it yourself in front of a mirror, one high neckline, one V-neck, and see the difference? For straight or rectangular body shapes, a maxi with soft tiers or gentle gathers can add just enough femininity. Even something as simple as a slim belt can create the illusion of curves. And if you're lucky enough to have an hourglass shape, maxi dresses are almost made for you. They highlight the waist you already have and let the fabric flow naturally around your curves. Now let's talk about length. The sweet spot is right at the ankle or just brushing the top of your foot. If it drags on the ground, it looks sloppy and can even be dangerous. Too short, and you lose the graceful flow that makes a maxi so elegant. I once bought a maxi that was way too long, and I told myself, oh, I'll just wear it with heels. But honestly, every step I took I had to keep one hand on the skirt, and it was exhausting. Have you ever bought a dress you loved but ended up never wearing because the length was all wrong? And here's my favorite little test, the chair test. Don't just stand in front of the mirror when you try on a maxi. Sit down, stand up, stretch your arms, turn side to side. If the dress still feels comfortable, doesn't pull, doesn't twist, and doesn't reveal more than you'd like, then you've found the right fit. I never skip this step, and it's saved me from countless bad purchases. Now that we've got silhouettes figured out, let's move on to the next piece of the puzzle, fabric and color. Because while the cut gives you structure, fabric and color are what bring a maxi dress to life. A maxi dress with the right cut is only halfway there. What truly brings it to life is the fabric and the color. Would you agree that sometimes two dresses can have the exact same silhouette, but the one in soft cotton looks polished and graceful, while the one in stiff polyester feels heavy and awkward? As we get older, our skin changes. It can be drier, thinner, and more sensitive, which makes fabric choice even more important. That's why comfort has to go hand in hand with style. The best options are soft cotton, linen blends with a touch of viscose to minimize wrinkles, breathable rayon, light jersey with a bit of stretch, or elevated choices like silk crepe and chiffon for evening wear. I remember wearing a sapphire blue chiffon maxi to a friend's birthday dinner. The fabric moved with me, caught the light beautifully, and made me feel radiant all night. Have you ever had that experience where the fabric of your dress made you feel lighter and more confident from the moment you put it on? On the other hand, some fabrics simply don't do us any favors. Stiff polyester can make a dress look boxy, shiny satin tends to highlight every line in the skin, and heavy jacquard can weigh the whole look down. A 2021 Fashion Insight report found that more than 70% of women over 55 said they felt more confident in lightweight, drapey fabrics than in shiny or stiff materials. That number really speaks to the power of flow and softness, doesn't it? Color is just as important. Because maxi dresses usually cover so much of the body, the color you choose sets the entire mood. Rich jewel tones like sapphire blue, emerald green, and deep plum are always flattering. Soft neutrals like dusty rose and taupe can feel elegant and timeless. Have you ever held up two dresses, maybe one in bright turquoise and one in soft beige, and noticed how one instantly lights up your face while the other seems to dull your skin tone? Here's a simple trick I use all the time: the fabric near the face test. When you're trying on a dress, hold the fabric close to your face in natural light. If your skin looks brighter, your eyes sparkle, and your lips seem rosier, that's your color. I've walked away from many dresses in colors I loved on the hanger, but that didn't love me back when I held them up to my skin. Would you like to try this right now with a scarf or blouse from your own closet? As for prints, keep them balanced. Abstract patterns, subtle geometrics, or medium-sized florals, somewhere around 2 to 3 inches, are the sweet spot. Tiny florals can feel dated, while oversized prints can overwhelm your frame. Think of prints as the volume of your outfit. You don't want them shouting, but you don't want them whispering so softly that they disappear either. Once you've mastered fabric and color, the maxi dress becomes more than just a piece of clothing. It turns into a canvas that highlights your personality and your natural beauty. And now that we've set that foundation, let's move into the next piece, accessories and styling. Because the right belt, the perfect pair of shoes, or a single statement necklace can completely transform your maxi from simple to stunning. A maxi dress can completely change its personality with just a few well-chosen accessories. Take belts for example. They don't just hold the dress in place, they define your shape and create the illusion of a waistline. I still remember going to lunch with some old friends in a flowy, straight maxi. It looked fine, but something felt unfinished. The moment I added a slim leather belt, the whole outfit came alive. Everyone commented on how much slimmer and more polished I looked. Do you ever reach for a belt when you want to add instant structure? Jewelry works the same way, and my rule is always the one-star rule. Pick one focal point, either bold earrings or a statement necklace, but not both. An AARP survey found that over 55% of women in their 60s said they feel most confident when their jewelry is simple but intentional, not overloaded. Personally, I lean toward earrings when I'm wearing a higher neckline, but if my dress is solid and open, I'll add a necklace to bring the focus back to my face. What about you? Do you usually highlight your ears or your neckline? Scarves and shawls are another favorite. A lightweight silk scarf draped loosely across the shoulders instantly elevates even the simplest maxi. I once wore a cream pashmina to an outdoor evening event. It was chilly, but instead of looking bundled up, I got compliments that I looked Parisian chic. Do you use scarves as a layering piece, or do you worry they'll make you look older? Then there's the bag. The wrong bag can throw off proportions completely. A slouchy oversized tote drags a maxi dress down, while a structured handbag balances the flow. During the day, I go for a small boxy crossbody. At night, a structured clutch always feels right. According to the Zoe report, structured bags consistently rank as one of the easiest ways to elevate a maxi outfit. And of course, shoes. For daytime, I love flat sandals or espadrille wedges for comfort and ease. Coffee with friends? A low slingback feels polished without being fussy. For evenings, I'll slip on block heels about 2 inches high, enough to elongate but still comfortable. And in cooler months, ankle boots with a pointed toe look modern and pair beautifully with maxis that skim the ankle. Which do you reach for more often, flats for comfort, or heels for that extra lift? To make it simple, let me share a few outfit formulas I use all the time. For a casual coffee date, a beige cotton maxi, flat sandals, a structured mini bag, and pearl studs. For a Saturday farmer's market, a linen blend maxi, espadrilles, a straw hat, and a medium woven tote. For an intimate dinner, a plum chiffon maxi, drop earrings, a metallic clutch, and block heels. For a resort vacation, a bold abstract print maxi, flat sandals, cat-eye sunglasses, and a silk scarf tied in my hair. And for a family celebration, a silk crepe maxi, one statement necklace or earrings, a satin clutch, and low block heels so I can stand and move comfortably. Once you see how flexible a maxi can be with just a belt, the right jewelry, or the right shoe, you realize you don't need a closet full of dresses. You just need to know how to style the ones you already love. And now that we've mastered the fun part, accessories, it's time to talk about the common mistakes many women make with maxis, and how to avoid them so you always look polished and intentional. One of the first mistakes I made when I started wearing maxi dresses was choosing ones that were way too loose. I thought more fabric would hide my shape, but instead, it made me look like I was drowning in material. The fix was simple: add a slim belt or take in the waist just a little. Suddenly the same dress looked polished and flattering. Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like your dress was wearing you instead of the other way around? Another big one is length. For years, I believed the longer the maxi, the more elegant I'd look. But honestly, a hemline dragging on the floor just made me look sloppy, and I was constantly tripping over it. The sweet spot is right at the ankle or just brushing the top of your foot. According to Harper's Bazaar in 2022, over 65% of women said they felt most confident when their dress length was just right, not too short, not too long. Have you ever bought a dress you loved but never wore because the length was just impractical? Accessories can trip us up too. I remember wearing a chunky necklace, long earrings, and a shawl all at once. It was way too much, and the outfit looked heavy. Now I live by the one-star rule: pick one statement piece and let everything else support it. Think back to your own outfits. Have you ever looked at a photo later and thought, I should have taken one thing off? Fabric choice is another easy mistake. Shiny satin in the middle of the day can feel over the top and highlight every line in the skin. I once wore a blush satin maxi to a brunch, and my friends teased me that I looked like I was headed to a gala. Since then, I save satin for evenings and reach for silk crepe or rayon during the day. They drape softly and look refined without being flashy. And let's not forget about bags. A slouchy oversized tote can throw off the whole look of a maxi dress. I tried it once, and the proportions just dragged me down. Switching to a structured clutch or a small boxy bag made the entire outfit feel elevated. Do you prefer the convenience of a big bag, or the elegance of something smaller and more structured? The key thing I've learned is that mistakes aren't failures, they're lessons. Every time an outfit didn't quite work, I figured out what to avoid next time. In fact, a Women's Wear Daily survey showed that over 70% of women in their 60s say their style confidence came from trial and error, not from getting it perfect the first time. So don't be afraid of getting it wrong. Every misstep is just part of fine-tuning your personal style. When you avoid these common pitfalls, a maxi dress becomes so much more than just clothing. It becomes a reflection of your taste, your personality, and your confidence. And after covering mindset, silhouette, fabric, color, accessories, and now mistakes, you can see how a maxi truly works for every stage and every occasion in life. To wrap this up, maxi dresses in your 60s are not about hiding who you are. They're about celebrating yourself today. They are symbols of elegance, freedom, and the kind of confidence that only comes with experience. So remember these 5 golden rules. Choose a silhouette that flatters your shape, go for fabrics that flow and feel soft, pick colors that light up your face, let one accessory be the star, and keep the length right at the ankle. Follow this blueprint, and you'll feel the difference the moment you slip into a maxi. How you walk, how you smile, and how the world responds to you. And if this video was helpful, share it with a friend over 60 who deserves to feel just as radiant and confident. But let me be clear, what you've learned today is just one piece of the puzzle. If you're truly serious about looking confident, youthful, and beautiful, then the next video, Stop Wearing These Tops After 60, Healthy Aging Secrets for Looking Elegant, is something you cannot miss. Click over and watch it now, because it's the missing step that will complete your journey to effortless, timeless style.